what it do, modified family? Today might be the day. I still have my doubts and reservations. The gentleman said he'll be here by 8:24. So that means I have, I'm not sure what time it is. I think I have about 2 hours to get the wagon ready for its new home. But you know what you got to do first. You got to give me 5 on my black hand side and let's go. Okay, here's the deal. I've been at work constantly, it feels like. So I'm at work right now. This is where my wagon is parked. I had grand dreams of making this wagon awesome, and it just never happened. So now I've been storing the wagon at my work, and somebody offered to buy it. I did post it online. I put it for $1,500 because not only is it like a real decent shell, which is only probably worth about $500, which is what I'm selling the shell for, but also it has a full B18 B1 out of like a 95 Integra, because I was going to make this car manual. I had everything to do that, from the pedals to the little gusset piece that holds clutch reservoir thing, you know, that can't think of the name of that thing, whatever. But yeah, so I have all the stuff for it, but the dude has his own swap. He has like an LS VTEC, he said, and so that's totally cool, that's totally fine. So I just need to get the car ready for him. There's a lot of really cool custom parts that he does not want. Well, I didn't offer them because he's only paying $500, so I'm not going to be like, hey, take all the stuff that I searched all over the world, literally for. But I'll show you where the car is at. Maybe I'll try to even get it washed before he gets here. We'll definitely see. So let's turn this camera around and I'll show you where the wagon is at. I was just pulling gloves out. I know that my tools are here, so I'll go grab those out of my SI because I need to put on a different wheel. But yeah, we'll get to that. Let's turn it around. Okay, this is where we are at with this project. It just got left here. It's been sitting here all buttoned up. So the windows have been closed. It's a little dusty. There's probably some spiders in there, but there should not be any rodents to have chewed through anything. So it should all still be in good condition. And so this car is gonna come with these wheels. And if you noticed, hey, one's not attached to the car. That's because when I sold the wheels that were on it to somebody else and put these wheels just to be able to roll it around, they didn't need to take off this wheel because it was already attached. It was all fine. So I need to take all this crap off so I can put that wheel on. And I advised him, I'm like, hey bro, bring a trailer. He's like, yeah, no problem. I rented a trailer. And I hope that he is not using the word trailer synonymously with car dolly, because I don't know if any of these tires will hold air pressure. And there was a bunch of stuff. There was like these pallets and all this stuff in front of here. So my shop mechanic moved all of his stuff, which I did not ask him to, but I'm really thankful because I did not want to do it and I didn't want to mess up any of his stuff. So I'm glad he took care of it. So this car's dirty, dusty. If I can, I will wash it. I had a long conversation with the dude. He seems more chill than I thought originally when we started talking. So yeah, if I can get this bad boy cleaned up a little bit. But everything is out, but everything is still here. So opening up the hood, the cowl is off because I wanted to clean out from under there. There was like a hornet's nest that I wanted to get out, so that I wasn't working on this thing and got attacked by hornets. All the original wiring is in here. Everything looks pretty darn good other than that. Yeah, so I mean, it's got its original cat on it. I have another cat he's not getting that. He's asking about shift linkage, which I have, because the wagon is very specific, because everything on this car is specific, but that's included with the engine. It's not included with the shell. It's not part of that. But yeah, so in here is all good. I wanted to paint this. I wanted to tuck some of these wires. Did not get around to it. The brakes do work. I just moved the brake proportioning valve just a little bit off because I was going to paint behind it and get all that squared away, and I wanted to fix that bracket, but it is a huge hassle to take all that stuff off, and I don't really have the expertise to bleed the brakes, at least not solo. So that's all in there. The rack and pinion's all in there. So this thing can turn, this thing can brake, so it's all good under here. I'm also pretty stoked. This is the maiden voyage of my new Harbor Freight impact driver. I think it's got a 1/2 inch tip on it, so I had to also buy reducers. Yep, it's not black. Oh well, lifetime warranty. To reduce it, because all my stuff is like the other size, like 5/8 or whatever is all my stuff. That sound right? No, 3/8, whatever. Mine is the smallest stuff, so all my sockets are the same size here. So I got this one because it's supposed to have a little bit more power than the smaller one, and it was on sale. So I am now officially a proud owner of an Impact. I also bought a spare battery. So I'm looking pretty good. I need to move this. This is one of my coworkers' exhaust systems I was gonna borrow a part off of because they were done using it. But now I think it's just in the way. And I really should just roll this bad dog out of here. That way I can wash it because there's tons of spiders, there's tons of mess on here. And it'll just be easier if I push this bad boy out. Maybe I'll try to film that, maybe.
Walking down the street late at night, I'm on edge, my jacket's pulled it tight. Looking for a good time to have a little fun. Hands clenched around my loaded gun. Looking for a girl to empty my clip. Open your mouth, now just take a sip.
Thank God my coworker was here. He was in a suit and everything, came out here, helped me move this thing. All my weight, all my strength was nothing. I could not get this bad boy to roll. And I can roll these cars all night and day. But yeah, them flat tires, 4 flat tires. All right, so it's out. Let me put the window up. Let's go back into time lapse. Give me time to catch my breath. And let's get this bad boy clean. Let's get all this off real quick. Because it'll just be easier for me not to work in spider webs. And I think if the dude comes, he'll be more stoked to have a car that's not all messed up looking like it was abandoned, because it wasn't. It was loved, just neglected.
Skirts up high and a shirt's down low. I'm charged up, about to blow. Sinking in the dark just to fit in. My sights on lock, looking around. Wanna get dirty, make your dad proud. You can get your money off the ground. Get down off the stage and come to me. I know you can show me all I need to see. I'll see you later, walking down the street. Oh, open your mouth.
All right, here we are. That's much more presentable, at least on the outside. It's been sitting there for a long time. It was stored in the field previous to that. Now we got to get on the inside and get a lot of stuff out. Now you can see a little bit more of what's in there. I do have almost all the original pieces. And that's where the value is, you know, because the wagons aren't like any of the other models, the EF and all the other. I think this is technically an EH. There's the EE. I think it's the EH in the serial numbers, what this thing is. I don't know. But yeah, bumpers, different. Lights, all different. I think I even got more lights for this bad dog. These are really super expensive. So yeah, this has all those things. And then over here, I have a few other things. I have the actual fenders. I have the headlights. Those are important. I have some more lights. I have the cowl piece. I don't know if this is from this car or not. I don't know. It was just in my garage. I don't know. These are a lot of the interior trim pieces. And then actually I happen to have this other hood. This is my old Honda Fit hood. Just sitting here. And this is another wagon hood, which he can take. Because without a wagon, I don't need it. Someone hit me up for it, but the shipping was just too much. You know, so I said, hey, $100 for this hood. You know, good deal. But the shipping would be like 3 times that, so not worth it. What else we got here? This is cool. They made these for like old Fords and Chevy, like lowriders. And then they happen to have one for a 91 Civic wagon. Same thing on this side. It's looking pretty solid. So I'm gonna rip this thing open, start getting stuff out. Oh, also another rear bumper. So it's a second rear bumper that you can mess around with, cut up, do whatever. And the actual side skirts right there. Probably need to rinse those off. I'm a very clear communicator. I will not give you less. I will always give you more than I say. But I am very clear. When I say rolling shell, I mean that it rolls. He's like, hey, are all the tires flat? Yes, they are. This car's old. Most of these things are down to the steel. I think the worst tires are on the front. Let's see, he's going on here. This one I know that we just put on is super bad, super down to the steel. See, the ones in the back might be a little bit better. I think my alignment was off on the car that these were on, but I pulled everything out. I mean, this is pretty respectable for how old it is and how rare it is. So it does have all the body panels. It has that metal trunk deck piece under there. It is bent from stuff being too heavy on there. I will see if I can get an extension cord to a vacuum to get the vacuum out here. Because even though I don't have to do all this crap, I am. But I pulled everything out that was in there. I feel like a few mice had gotten in there, but I don't think there was anything for them to chew on. So they used it as their personal toilet, then took off. All right, so yeah. So yeah, this is where we're at. I am including things like this is the factory center console piece. I spent way too much money on this JDM piece because it's way cooler, but I'll include that because I'm a nice guy. This is the wing off the CRV. It is very cheap, but it definitely looks cooler than what the wagon comes with. I seen somebody make like a drag racing one. It looked dumb. I mean, it just looked like it's for drag racing, which a wagon does not seem like the ideal car for that. So you can have this if you want. It's totally included. Second set of rear seats. I don't actually know what the seats look like under there because I never took off the seat covers. That's the driver's seat. A lot of the interior stuff, you'd ask about pedals. It has the pedals, and that's the piece I was talking about, that you can mount the clutch master cylinder right off that. Very convenient. This was a lot of the stock D-Series motor stuff, like intake and stuff like that. That's definitely going with the car because it goes with it. What else? Look at all that stuff. That is the front bumper. It's the second rear bumper. There's two sets of fenders. That's what the mud flaps look like. They're much more square. I did get them. I had them, never put them on. That's a brand new rack and pinion for power steering that can go in there if you want, because this one was messed up. That is a power steering line. I think the power steering pump might be connected to the motor. That's not included because he did not want that. Center console pieces, armrest. It's a very rare piece, but I have it. He can have it. And then in this box is cool. This is something from like Nathan Tech. I think he's still around, but he 3D prints these pieces because it's going from automatic to manual. You need to put this piece in. It'll bolt right in. And then this is where your shifter comes through the middle. And I went to the junkyard and I got both the inner boot that seals it and the outer boot that goes on top of it. So with both these, they'll keep water, rodents, things out of your car. So this is a pretty good deal for 500 bucks. You're getting a lot more. Even if you sell off the extra stuff, there's always people that need all those things. This is all the stuff I took out. I gotta bring my Honda Fit out to load that up. Dude says he's about 30 minutes away, so we're still seeing how that's going. And what else? One quick turn. Those were the side markers that were on it. They are not correct. Maybe they are. Maybe these are the right ones. I also have clear ones I got from Lithuania. Not included because I spent like almost $200 on those stupid things. So those are going to be resold to people who are about that life, if you know what I mean. And the dash has been protected as long as I've had it with this cool custom fit dash mat. It reminded me of my grandma, so I went ahead and bought it. All right, so search for extension cord, vacuum this bad boy out, wait 30 minutes. Dude should be here. All right, so they're a couple minutes out, but this is where I got it to. I vacuumed the thing out. I washed it, just make it presentable. I mean, I feel like this is worth 500 bucks. It's in really good condition. I mean, this is from 1991. This kid, he's like 20, so I don't think he was born when this car was still in its heyday. Trunk is good, backing this out. Very little rust in there, just a little bit right there in the corner, probably because of that tool, but not any holes. Nothing was pooling down there. And the worst thing, which I never knew about because I just now took the seat covers off, whereas this back seat is ripped, but have no fear because I like to buy extra stuff. So I have new rear seats. This is the front seat he was asking about, so it's here. These are the side moldings from a real-time four-wheel drive model. So I was just collecting everything to make this complete. So hopefully he takes it. He drove all this way, and I don't think I could push it back into its spot if I wanted to. What it do, Modified family? This is the end of said video. This is actually the next day. Yeah, the guys made it. They got there about 8:30 in the PM. So that was cool. I'd said, hey, come at 8 o'clock in the morning, just because it's daylight. See how bright it is right now. It's almost 8 right now. But it worked out better for them, and it happened to work out for me because the work I thought I had was just like a one-way trip, and I didn't have to take the people back. So I was free. So here is where the wagon used to be. Just a big empty spot right there. It feels good. That something good's gonna happen with the wagon, that they're gonna put work into it, get it back on the road. That's where it always should have been. But no, it went very well. As you can see from the video, I pulled everything out, got help pushing it out from under the carport, washed it just to make it nicer. You know, it would not make it more than it was, but it just was more well presented when it was cleaned off. Then like I went through and vacuumed it. There was a lot of dust. I bought this really cool Hello Kitty sun visor in like Chinatown in Vegas a long time ago, and it had been in the window for a long time. The sun just tore it apart and shredded it into confetti. So that was mostly what was being vacuumed up, besides a few other pests and other things that had gotten in there. But yeah, all clean, all good. And then helped them load it up. I didn't know if the air compressor at my work had been working, so all 4 tires were flat, but they didn't have far. They had like a mile to go to get the tires aired up. Then they caught food locally, and I went to work again. I had to go pick up at an airport, bring the clients back, and then when I got back in the cell service, they're like, hey man, one of the back tires went flat. Can you help us out? And I'm like, yeah, because I told them, hey man, text me when you guys get home. They had like a 2-hour drive with the wagon on a dolly behind a rented truck. And so I said, yeah, let me change out of my work clothes. Let me get the tool you need, because I forgot to give them the wheel lock, you know, just for like the general lug nuts that everyone has on their cars that just have like a lock, what's that thing called? Socket. Yeah. So I grabbed that. I knew where it was, and I just gave it to them like, you guys need this. So I gave them that. And then they already had a scissor jack and tools in there, because I try to make sure I have that in all my cars, even though this wagon didn't have any spare tires. And then I had a spare rim, just an Acura 15, same size as the other wheels on there. And I checked the air compressor, and the shop mechanic had changed it back to the old one. It's loud as hell, but it worked. So I aired up the tire, brought it to him, and then I woke up today, checked my messages, and at about 3 o'clock this morning, they're like, hey, thanks, man. Thanks for coming to help us. And we made it home safely. So very, very cool. So no more wagon videos. It will just be EP3 and Honda Fit videos. I got a bunch of stuff coming for that. And then also a bunch of sweet music videos. All right, Modified family. Until next time, I'll see you later.